And so I was trying to think about this, in terms of, okay, so what does inclusion mean? We know who it's for, so what is it? And so I was thinking about this, and here's my little criteria, and we're going to get more into this, because again, this is not black and white. But inclusion is this idea, we are not forcing separation by groups. We are not forcing separation by individual. If we do have to bring kids together as a first step, that can't be the only step. We can't just stop there or it's integration. We have to do something else to move from a container that's holding kids together to an actual community where people are choosing to engage. This idea of voluntary community is huge because you can't force this, but you have to provide the opportunity. But really, inclusive education is just this idea of we're teaching to diverse kids, we're teaching to diverse schools, communities. Our goal is no longer to turn them all green. That is not what society wants in our kids that are graduating today. And the last one that I love the most is, it's all of us. We are included in that. There's a lot of people that I talk to and I hear them say, oh, those kids are diverse. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. We are diverse. We are also diverse. And so when we become a part of the equation, I find it really freeing because it's no longer something you do. I first learned about this when I was teaching high school, and I had 16 students with developmental disabilities on my caseload. And I was on like an inclusion rampage. I'm like, we are coming out. We are coming out of this container. Look out, high school. We are coming in your classes. We are going to come in the cafeteria. We were like inclusion superheroes, right? And because I'm like, my first year I kind of laid low, but my second year I'm like, well, look out. We're coming out of the resource room. But there was one day that they had a pep rally. Do you guys have pep rallies? Don't do them. For those of you who don't have pep rallies, just imagine like 800 screaming teenagers, silly string, boat horns, pots and pans. It's a sensory nightmare. But you know what? It's not about me. We are inclusive. So I says to my trail of ducklings, we're inclusive. We're going to the pep rally. Move it. The closer we get to the gym, my trail gets further behind me. I'm like, there's headphones. Let's go. I will never forget one of my little guys looking at me. Miss Moore, you know that half of us have autism, right? And I'm like, but we're inclusive. And he goes, I can see that this is really important to you. So how about you go to the pep rally? I'll take us back to the classroom. We'll do some mind up. We'll do some chime breathing. You can meet us afterwards. And I'm like, but we're inclusive. But what I failed to realize in that moment, that me forcing these kids to go to the pep rally was as exclusive as me preventing them from going in the first place. And so part of this too is this fine balance between what is the purpose of us being together. This is not just forcing kids together and apart. And so what would be inclusive is we provide the invitation, we provide the supports, the opportunity, and then kids will decide. So what would have been inclusive in the pep rally is if I said, okay, everyone, there's a pep rally today. There's a lot of screaming. Who wants to go? There'll be chairs by the door. There'll be headphones. Or if you just want to go scream your face off, this is the time. What would be inclusive is providing the opportunity to be there. Now we know something. Now we know if we just put kids in these places, what is it? If we just put them there. Integration. That's not the goal. There has to be something else that happens if we put them there. This is the next big idea. And so if we're talking about where inclusion can happen, well, it can happen in a lot of places, but there has to be something else. And so let me just ask you this. Why do you go to the bank? Money. Why do you go to the grocery store? Food. Why do you go to the gym? Exercise. All of these, or other reasons, all of these places have purposes. We go to these places for a specific purpose. If we went to the bank with no purpose, we would probably get arrested for loitering, right? Now think about this. How many students could you say that you work with right now knows the purpose of the places that they're in? Because I can tell you right now, There are a lot of kids who don't know their purpose at school. Them going to school is like them going to a bank for no reason. Or like me, going to the grocery store. I never know what to do or buy, so I just end up buying Cheerios every time, right? So it's really important when we're talking about the difference between integration and inclusion, it's the idea of purpose and contribution. Why are kids there? What is their goal, and what are they contributing to that environment? This is very, very critical, because if we're just going to put kids in places, that's going to be really depressing, and kids are going to realize really quickly, I don't care what your cognitive ability is, kids realize when they don't have a purpose there. And then we all know what happens. Behavior goes south really, really fast.